Check out today's sponsor, Logbooks for Guns, at logbooksforguns.com. Logbooks for Guns is the #1 logbook for guns, period. It's perfect for gun dealers, collectors, and firearm enthusiasts alike. Click the link below right now. I'm Christopher Green, and you're watching AMTV Alternative Media Television. In the latest issue of GQ magazine, a great article featuring Airman First Class Brandon Bryant exposes the brutality of a new kind of warfare, where man merges with machine and goes on terrifying mass killing sprees, all from the comfort of a smoky control room deep in the Nevada desert. Brandon, who since has gone rogue with his story, controversially after he's already murdered thousands of people, including women and children, has nonetheless decided to tell his tale. What he details provides a shocking sneak peek into the largely hidden and top-secret drone program in the United States. In one scene, Brandon describes the horror of watching the aftermath of a drone strike he perpetrated in Afghanistan's Kunar province, thousands of miles away from the victims. Airman First Class Brandon Bryant stared at the scene, unblinking in the white-hot clarity of infrared. He recalls it even now, years later, burned into his memory like a photo negative. The smoke clears, and there's pieces of the two guys around the crater. And then there's this guy over here, and he's missing his right leg above his knee. He's holding it, and he's rolling around, and the blood is squirting out of his leg. And it's hitting the ground, and it's hot. His blood is hot. But when it hits the ground, it starts to cool off. The pool cools fast. It took him a long time to die. I just watched him. I watched him become the same color as the ground he was lying on. After years in the hot seat, struggling with PTSD and probable suicide, Brandon decided to tell his story. He decided to share exactly what Obama's drone strike program looks like from within the underbelly of the Pentagon. According to the Washington Times, a new book claims that President Barack Obama was overheard telling aides during the 2012 campaign about killing people with drones, saying that, quote, he's really good at killing people. A shocking statement, or at least it should be, coming from a Nobel Peace Prize winning president. Since taking office, Obama has taken credit for the murder of hundreds of people on his kill list, most notably the US-born citizen Anwar al-Awlaki and his 16-year-old son. The drone strike in Yemen of al-Awlaki, an American-born citizen who was never tried or convicted of a crime, is unprecedented. Brandon started his service in the drone program under the guidance of military supervision, just months after his 21st birthday. It was Brandon's job as a sensor operator to help guide the heat-seeking missiles to their target, with his Predator drone co-pilot sitting next to him. Long hours at the keyboard and the light flicker of monitors seemed to merge time, Brandon recalls. Boredom mixed with fear and short bursts of strikes on victims, pixelated in infrared. Ultimately, Brandon was responsible for the success of the kill, the impact of the strike, and to this day, it still haunts him. In another flashback, Brandon recalls unloading a heat-seeking missile on an insurgent compound. Bryant's laser hovered on the corner of the building. Missile off the rail! Nothing moved inside the compound but the eerily glowing cows and goats. Bryant zoned out at the pixels. Then about 6 seconds before impact, he saw a hurried movement in the compound. This figure runs around the corner, the outside, toward the front of the building. And it looked like a little kid to me, like a little human person. Brandon's superiors assured him later that that little human person that disappeared in a white flash before his eyes wasn't a child per the review, but was a dog. Brandon's story is filled with accounts like these, the physical detachment from the kill, and also the emotional toll on his psyche and personal ridicule he suffered that ultimately led him to break rank and turn down a six-figure incentive package to continue flying. Brandon, as any normal person would be, is deeply conflicted and traumatized by the experience. A deep sense of guilt and feeling of betrayal of his fellow man after taking kill orders from his commanders, and as a result of wasting thousands of people he didn't even know. Brandon's total kills in action, according to his list of achievements, 1,626 people. Brandon's story isn't unique. He's just the first to shed light on an emerging multi-billion-dollar industry aimed at profiting from the assassination of one's enemies via drone strike. It not only sheds light on the grim horrors of war, but also warns Americans of an emerging trend in military enforcement and gives them a real glimpse into the U.S. drone program paid for by their tax dollars. I'm Christopher Green, and you're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Hard-hitting and in your face. Please subscribe on YouTube at cgreen34, Facebook at Greenwave TV, and Twitter at Greenwave. Click the link below to support our sponsor.